Domantas Sabonis has been playing like an all-star for the Kings this season, with his offensive prowess being pretty well documented. But as much as he controls the game on the offensive side of the floor, he also uses his IQ to quarterback the Kings on the other side of the court as well. This is going to be a relatively brief breakdown, just looking at some examples of Sabonis anchoring the Kings defense, which has been a much improved unit this year. Sabonis has an innate ability to recognize actions and sets on the fly. He's working off ball here, and he has his eyes focused on the action that Memphis is running, which is staggered screens for Desmond Bane. Bane is an elite shooter, and Sabonis knows that Huerter is going to be fighting over the screens, so Domas is able to position himself into more of a drop rather than the at-the-level coverage the Kings will typically use, and when Bane curls towards the basket, Sabonis is in a good spot to cut off his drive and force a tough shot. Here's another example of this early detection of off-ball actions. Bam is setting the pin down for Hero, which Sabonis calls out and tells Huerter to go over. Again, this allows him to position himself into a drop, knowing that Hero will likely curl off the screen and Domas can play both Hero and the roll man. Here he breaks up the pass over the top to Bam. This is a floppy set the Warriors like to run, where both Curry and Clay are coming off screens looking for shots on both sides. Watch how Sabonis completely turns his head to the ball, focusing his attention on Steph. Normally this would be a bad idea, but the Warriors are kind of the exception here. Again, he's directing Huerter to go over everything, and the Kings end up blowing up the play because of it. Communication is the key to any team's defense, and Sabonis acts as the team's quarterback in that regard. He's able to detect these actions early, here calling out the flare screen for Terrence Davis, buying him time to get back to his man and contest the shot. I also just like how he never gets caught sleeping off ball. When Paul George gets the ball in the post, the Kings are really trying to gap him, looking to take away any driving lanes. Sabonis' job here is to act as the baseline help. But when Norman Powell cuts from the weak side corner, he recognizes that he needs to take that away instead, and just naturally switches on to him, playing good defense on the perimeter. The Kings blitz Curry here, so the Warriors have the numbers advantage here for a brief moment. When Draymond has the ball in these situations, he's never really looking to score, so you can see how Sabonis is backing up and more focused on taking away that lob pass. De'Aaron also does a good job getting back into play, but there's still no angle to make that pass anyways, and because Draymond forces it, the Kings create a turnover. So none of these are real highlight plays that will ever get mentioned, but I think they do a good job in showing the defensive impact that Sabonis has. Anyways, thank you guys for sticking around and watching, and I'll see you next time.